Morning. So I come to you today with my plentiful water bottles because I want to start articulating my thoughts in the morning. I'm currently living alone and I've always kind of wanted to have one of these like no filter, no script, talking at people. Well, not at you. I hope it's not at you. I want connection, and I also am kind of craving reconnecting with my own mind. Like, I feel like when I'm writing, I can formulate my thoughts really clearly, and so this is where I haven't spoken all morning. And I feel like when I'm writing, it's just this like stream of consciousness, and I'm like, bah, 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 bah. But when I speak, especially to people, I just lose any articulation that I have. I just become a 3-year-old, and I think some of it is like a societal thing, I think, where, I'm seeing all these videos of people saying, I'm going to speak for 2 minutes without filler words. But I think it actually speaks to a larger point about our society, that actually, as a society, it's frowned upon for you to have like a wide vocabulary or for you to be really confident about what you're saying. And I feel like when I was younger, I was one of these kids that like devoured books. I would take home 12 books from the library every week and I would go through them. And then same story as most people, like I went to secondary school and it just murdered any love of books that I had because I was forced to read very specific books. So kind of in defiance, I didn't read them and I used SparkNotes. Woo! Got an A though, so thanks SparkNotes for funding my university. But to kind of bring it back, because this is how my brain works, is I flit. And if you've ever had a conversation with me, you know that this is kind of where I live. This is where I thrive, is being able to like flit and like put pin in something. We're going to talk about this subject and this one and this one, this one, this one, this one. And then at some point I'm going to go, so anyway, back to this pin. But I feel like that kind of flow is where I feel most alive and I feel most connection with people. So I kind of want to grab a hold of that again and to take the pin out and bring you back to taking the books out the library and yada, yada, yada. As a kid, I had a massive vocabulary. Obviously, in hindsight, for the age I am now, my vocabulary is very limited. But for a 10, 11-year-old, massive vocabulary. And I don't think it happened very often, but I think just as a society, that whole like nerd dork situation was so prevalent when I was growing up, and I was so fearful of it. Like, part of the reason I have glasses is because I thought, no, nerds wear glasses. I don't want glasses. So I came up with this elaborate ruse for 3 years where I made a pact with the guy I sat next to in school that he would copy down the questions and like the objectives and everything from the board, and I would give him the answers. Because I literally couldn't see the board and I could not fathom the idea of me having glasses. I had glasses for 3 months at the end of year 6, immediately went to contacts. No one in secondary school knew I wore glasses. Nobody. So, I have absolutely fallen into the societal cesspit of smart people are not fun and I don't want to be friends with smart people. And smart is a very subjective word. I don't mean like because you don't use big words you're not smart. I use like. So this is what I'm getting at, is it's all these filler words, and it's not that my brain is blipping, it's that I've kind of programmed myself to become more relatable by speaking. How do I explain it? But I'm speaking in a way that is very accessible for everyone. I'm not a threat. I basically do the social equivalent of, hi, nice to meet you, and rolling over like a dog. And I'm kind of fed up with it because at this age, and you know, not to sound vain, but the level of knowledge and expertise I have in certain subjects, and obviously this comes into the whole feminism and like gaslighting situation, but I need to stand up for myself. I'm so fed up of just sort of nodding along to things and going, yep, that's essentially what I said. That's what I said like half an hour ago, but yeah, please continue. And I can't even blame the other person, because it's a me thing. I am presenting myself as someone that I'm not really sure, but I think maybe it could be this. Why do I do that? It's this lingering, please like me, and I'm too old. I'm too old to care about this. So, long story short, that is why I'm going to start doing these morning blurs to you. And you know, sometimes I don't want to use big words. Sometimes I want to use things like blur to describe myself. And that's a choice I am making. Call me an author. Like, that's the vocab I'm choosing to use. But I want it to be unfiltered, and I want to not feel restricted by people's assumptions of me. So, you know, join along if you want, or don't. This is going to be a strange little experiment for me, but I think it'll do me good. It'll do me good to get up in the morning, to talk, to socialize with my camera, and to also just, you know, get dressed and self-care. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy. If you did watch all of this, and if you want to join along with me on this journey, or talk about your own experiences with sort of the social pressures or whatever about talking, we're going to get rid of that. Then I would be very interested, and I am going to try not to watch these back. I'm going to try to not edit myself, both in the present speaking and also via video. I've got a horrible habit of being very perfectionist with things like this, and I want it gone. I don't care anymore.